I saw this. This is actually per CBS Sports, but it's on an On3 graphic. The college quarterback power rankings, as we are early in spring. In fact, not even in spring. But here are the list of the top 10, according to CBS Sports, quarterbacks as they enter 2025. A long way to go. Things can change. Heck, some of these guys, who knows where they'll end up, probably where they are now. But here's the list. And if you look, with Arch Manning at the top, Arch is getting a lot of love. He looks the part. When he's played, he's looked the part. He seems to be the part. Then Klubnik, who had a great end with the Clemson year. Then Beck now at Miami. Aller at Penn State. Sam Leavitt, Arizona State, great year for them, the Sun Devils. And then you have Nussmeier, who Baylor got a taste of in the bowl game. And then Sellers, South Carolina, one of the great stories last year. Sawyer Robertson at Baylor had a big year at number 8. Rocco Beck at Iowa State, heck of a year. And then DJ Lagway, who finally got the opportunity and is scaring the heck out of Paul and all the FSU fans. They need to worry about their own business, but DJ Lagway in at number 10.
Yeah, I mean, you ran down the entire list there. I guess Arch Manning at number 1 is not surprising, but I don't know, kind of feels a little goofy. I don't know how much we've really seen of him, but I understand that what we've seen is good enough for some people to declare him the best quarterback in all the land. I'm very intrigued by just seeing him actually be the starter and not the guy that comes in when Quinn Ewers is not sharp or when he's banged up. I mean, yeah, he looked really good in a lot of his time out there, but I do think it's going to be a bit of a different animal, and that's what I'm excited to see when people have full opportunities to game plan for him and when he's not just in particular situations, when he's got to play all 4 quarters. I'm very much looking forward to that because if he's as advertised and as we've seen so far, then he definitely deserves to be at the top of the list. But there's a lot of other good quarterbacks. I mean, Klubnik's a great story considering where he was about a year ago. A lot of people soured on him or felt like he wasn't going to quite live up to the rankings potential that he had coming out of high school. But I think last year was a big step forward for him, and that's why you see him right there near the top. So good to see a Texas boy there at number 2. And right below a guy who's playing in his hometown, actually. But Carson Beck, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm really not, but he's a good quarterback. Aller's a guy we talk about a ton, and I feel like he's never quite I don't know. I think he's very talented, and I like him a lot, but I don't know that he's quite ascended to like the level of like superstar quarterback like maybe some of the other names on this list. But he can do that next year. Levitt's really good, and I think opened a lot of eyes. Nussmeier's got a lot of talent. Sellers has got an incredible amount of talent. So, yeah, I mean, these are all they seem about right. I mean, didn't really sit and chew on this and think about it too long to know who immediately pops to mind as far as an omission. But I think Sawyer Robertson deserves to be on there. I think people who haven't watched him, he's a very good quarterback. And then we know Rocco Beck at Iowa State and Lagway, a Texas guy as well, had a really nice debut there at Florida. So a lot of people excited about him, and that's a pretty stout group. I think there's a lot of players to get excited about heading into next year, guys who are going to be obviously going through their last tryouts before the NFL. You'd think Arch is in that group, but maybe not. But definitely guys like Klubnik and Beck and Aller and all of them, Nussmeier. But, yeah, Sellers is a hell of a talent, man. He really is. He's awesome, and this is going to be a fun group of quarterbacks to watch next year.
That's a nice chunk. I mean, that is a nice chunk. And we got to watch almost, not all of them a lot. We got to see a lot of them and more than others. Obviously, it's good to see that you have 3 players, quarterbacks in the Big 12. Of course, you have your SEC representation, 2 and 3. If it's okay for me to bring this up, they're both from the ACC. And then, of course, you have an SEC flavor with Manning, and then also with the Big Ten with Aller, Manning, Nussmeier, Sellers, and DJ Lagway from the SEC. Not the whole